Well, the latest estimates for the 91 pecan crop across Oklahoma appears to be somewhat average. Well, you're probably asking yourself, what is considered average? Well, that's around 14 million pounds. But keep in mind, too, that approximately 90% of the production is from seedling or native trees, with the remainder from paper shell or improved varieties. Many of you will also be harvesting pecans during the months of November and December. However, nut quality begins to deteriorate soon after the pecan drops on the ground, and that's why you really need to begin harvesting them just as soon as you can. Also, prompt harvest can help protect the nuts from any predators, and research also shows that any nuts remaining on the ground for more than a week can greatly reduce their quality. Well, let's join Barb now, who will give us some additional use and storage ideas.
Pecan season has been on us for a couple of weeks now, and whether you've got your own trees and you're harvesting from the ground or whether you're going to the grocery store to buy them, one of the challenges all of us have is getting them out of the shell. There are several things that can make this a little easier, and most of them involve water, or all of them involve water. What we want to try to do is soften the shell up a little bit so that it's easier to get it out. Now, what you can do is soak them overnight in cold water, then drain them on paper towels and go ahead and use them. Another thing that you can try if you don't want to dedicate the entire night to taking care of the shells is to put them in boiling water with just enough to cover them and bring it to a boil and let them boil for 5 to 8 minutes, depending on the kind of shell you have and whether it's one of the varieties that's real thick. Then again, drain them and go ahead and use them from then. If you'd like to add a little bit of salt to them, and this does add just a small amount, you can add about a little bit of salt to the water as you boil them, and that will increase the saltiness of the pecan inside. That will, whether or not you do that will depend on what you're going to use them for. If you're going to put them in the freezer, I wouldn't do that because the salt will increase the speed of rancidity. So whether you're putting them in the freezer or refrigerating them, if you're not going to use them right away, go ahead and boil them or soak them in just plain water. Another thing you can do is add about 3 cups of pecans and 1 cup of water, put them in the microwave for 1 to 3 minutes, again depending on the thickness of the shell of the pecan that you're using, and that will again soften them up. Now, you may find that the pecan meat itself also gets a little bit softened doing this, so you may have to dry them out in order to make them usable for the purpose that you have in mind. The pecans are high in fat, and so they do tend to become rancid very quickly. If when you crack them the pecan meat is very dark, a good chance that the pecan has already started to turn rancid. Once that happens, there's nothing you can do to make it revert to the other way. Some people have tried boiling the pecan meats in water, hoping that that will take some of the rancid flavor away. And it may in fact do that because it takes away some of the fat, which will go out into the water as it boils. However, the pecan flavor is also in that fat, so that once you remove the fat, if you had a low-fat pecan, for instance, you'd have very little flavor because that's where the flavor is in the fat content. Now, the storage of pecans will vary depending on the form you have. In shell will keep the longest, and the more you break that down from the intact shell, the way it came off the tree, the shorter the storage time is going to be. If you have enough freezer space, the longest way they're going to keep is frozen in shell. The next choice for most of us is going to be shelled in the freezer. If they're halves, they'll keep longer than if they're chopped. They'll keep longer as chopped than as ground. Basically, you reduce storage time to about 1/3 to 1/4 of the original. In the freezer, the pecans, if they're wrapped in moisture vapor-proof packaging, they should keep, even chopped, for about a year. The larger pieces may keep up to 3 years if you've got your freezer at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Pecans fit in the foods that we choose in lots of different ways. We have a couple of examples here. We have a pecan bread that has coconut and pecans and pineapple in it. We also have a chicken salad with pecans. The recipes are available from your county extension office, or you can write Oklahoma Gardening. For Oklahoma Gardening, this is Barbara Brown.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.